Senator from Colorado.
Thanks, Mr. President. I ask the quorum call to be vitiated.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. You never know what you're going to find these days when you're reflecting on the Trump administration and our oversight responsibilities as the Congress. And it is true that things have changed. And I think some people might call me old-fashioned for thinking about this, this way. But I think we were a lot better off when we had presidents who took it as a matter of course that they shouldn't use their office to enrich themselves, and that they should put behind them conflicts of interest that raise questions about whether or not they're serving their own interest or their family's interest and the interest of the people of the United States. And that's why Ronald Reagan put, I think, his wealth, which was considerable, into a blind trust. Jimmy Carter even, I think sold maybe his farm or put that in a trust. And I realize it's part of Donald Trump's political charm that he wants to wear his corruption on his sleeve. But that doesn't mean that we have to go along with it, even if some people are entertained by it, which I'm not. And we've got a great example of thinking about our responsibility versus his complete lack of integrity when it comes to the service of his public duties and his private interests. And that is the bill, the so-called Genius Act, that is on the floor of the Senate right now, where we're considering whether or not to regulate stablecoins, which are part of the cryptocurrency universe that is new to all of us, certainly in this chamber and across the country. And I believe very strongly that no president and no vice president, no member of Congress, no high-ranking official of our government should be in the business of issuing cryptocurrency, including stablecoins, and they shouldn't be in the business of pumping them up like some sort of speculator, which is what we're seeing happen sometimes outside the White House or in the White House. Saw the other day that the president was having a dinner at Mar-a-Lago to reward the people who had been bidding up his meme coins, and they even came to dinner, although he apparently didn't really show for that dinner. But the legislation we have in front of us would be the first regulations of stablecoins that have ever been done, and I think as part of that, it would be very appropriate for us to say that the president should get out of this business, and that any president should be out of the business of issuing their own coins. It's a weird part of the nature of this asset, this new digital asset, that it's very volatile. The meme coins, they rise and they fall as part of their price, and the stable coins are used as a way of transacting around that volatility. But the volatility every single day is still captured in this market, and it seems like a crazy moment when we're living at a time when a president could influence his own net worth to the tune of billions of dollars just based on pumping up the value of digital currency that he has put out there in the world with his name, or that somebody else has put out there in the world with his name. And that's why yesterday I offered an amendment to the bill, to the Genius Act, that would preclude any president, this president or any other president, any vice president, from issuing stable coins. And I hope we'll consider that amendment on the floor of the Senate. I hope we'll vote to pass it if we're indeed going to pass this legislation. And I hope we'll have other amendments that we consider as well, because I think that the questions that are at issue here from an ethics point of view, from a corruption point of view, go far beyond just the stable coin. They go to cryptocurrency generally and what the president is doing to inflate the value of coins that are issued in his name, whether he's issued them or whether he hasn't. I look forward to the debate that we're going to have. I think this is an opportunity for us to say that we want to elevate the requirements that each one of us has agreed to live under as members of this body and people elected to act in the public interest. I believe the president and his vice president should face the same standard and the same scrutiny. That's why I've offered the amendment that I have, and I hope that as our colleagues consider the debate that we're going to have, that others will come to the floor with their ideas to strengthen this legislation and make sure that people don't abuse their public office for their own personal economic gain. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor, and I'd suggest the absence of a quorum.
Clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Alsterbrooks.